I can't wait till 10:30. There's more and more people showing up. There's our parking lot over there filling up. Had to put up these cones on this side because of the water pipes. They don't want us driving over their water pipes, I guess. People here with their flags and signs. I was hoping for more. There's Jason.
Oh, okay. I'll probably be in Vail till the 20th. Maybe after now, because I got a whole week. I'm not doing anything. I was on a roof. Sat down and cried for 5 minutes. I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it.
I was watching them. I got up, sat on my chair, had my coffee, and
Somebody dropped their horse.
Oh, you saw it on the news?
What? Good morning, Effie.
Hey! Good stuff. Today's here, right?
Kim Rollins.
Oh, is that right?
Big white beard.
I don't remember who he is. He came to my house and dropped off.
Yeah.
You want to say hi to Sherry?
Yeah. Is that? Oh, hey, Redoubt News. There you go. Good stuff. Payday today. Getting paid today.
All right.
Do the work and you get paid.
All right.
Here comes the plane. Oh, that's not it. Psych. Wait, it's a plane. It's a plane. Oh, that's not it. Hey, good work. Keep up the good work. Good stuff coming. Good stuff coming. Hey.
Oh, I know these people. That's Morgan and Rick. Hey guys, you're live on Redoubt News. Say hello.
Hi.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Who are you hiding in the back?
Their parking spot.
They don't want to be seen? Who you got back there? They're hiding? Am I not supposed to put them on?
Just,
Hello, everybody.
special delivery.
Good to see you guys.
That's right. That signal of mine works in Burns, Oregon, and it does. The feds aren't jamming me up this time. Hello, Noreen.
Mo.
Sorry for the wiggly camera. I'm getting a little excited. There's a lot of faces here I hardly get to see. Hello.
You are live on Redoubt. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Look at camera to camera. Oh, let's go. We're going to turn around. Wait, I'm going to try turning it around again.
See, Mo can enliven the place up.
There's Jan. There we are. Hello, everybody.
Okay.
Noreen's here.
I'll
Oh
go
my
off again. I'm going to be off.
My heart's racing.
Because this is
Oh my
just
gosh.
too awesome. Have you
Her
missed
heart's
much of it?
racing too. As soon as we're both shaky and like hugging shaky. Hugging shaky.
Answer questions and things like that. Yeah, oh yeah. And they may make some small.
I mean, you're going to get the jet right here. So you'll have a front row seat. I think that the airport's requested that everybody kind of stay behind the cones.
Sounds good. We'll make it work. Thank you so much. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
you bet. Thanks.
So, tell us about the events. Oh, yeah, I'm going to get closer.
Okay.
Tell us how the events unfolded here over the last, well, you said a week, but what did you know before that? And can you kind of fill us in on what it is we're talking about? Because our voices won't be in this.
Sure. So we're talking about the pardon of the Hammonds, Dwight and Stephen Hammond. And the pardon process itself is a very lengthy process, which almost nobody in the world can predict. But there's been a lot of hope in the Hammond family and in the community, I think, of supporters, hoping that pardon would occur. And on about July 3rd, Congressman Walden, who has been a real great champion of the Hammonds and a friend, I think, to the Trump administration, called the Hammonds and asked if he could come and sit down and meet with them. He did on July 5th and gave them an indication that it looked like the pardon was had gone through the entire process except for the signature by the president, and that he anticipated that it would probably occur. So on July 10th, we actually got, the Hammond family got word from Congressman Walden at about 7:30 in the morning, confirming that the pardon had actually been signed on July 10th, and here we are.
So how's it feel? I mean, not expecting something like this to occur and then having it happen, what was your first thought about when you got the phone call?
Well, Susie said this is wonderful. I think that's kind of the stereotypical response of the family so far, that this is a wonderful thing. I think all the emotions they have felt and all the anticipation they've had is going to come out when they finally get to see Dwight and Stephen.
So is this the end of it for you with the Hammonds case, or is there?
No, we're going to talk about that a little bit later. So if you come over to Burns Pond, we'll have some information on kind of what happens next. But
did you actually tell us that you are representing the Hammonds? Because I think that's a piece of it.
yeah,
Oh, you did. Okay, great. Because
I don't know if I did
no,
or
you
not,
didn't.
but I
okay,
am.
all of our other footage has you in other capacities, so
Sure.
this would be helpful.
Yeah.
Okay, so I represent the Hammond family, specifically Dwight and Susie, in regards to kind of what comes next.
Sounds good. Okay.
Did you want to talk to him about? So, not that I have anything authoritative. Oh, I don't know that you want me on the camera.
Jump on in.
So, one of the interesting things about how this all played out is, there has been talk on social media and even in traditional media that maybe this was going to happen, because there were a lot of people who did work to make this happen. And it's the kind of yeoman's work that you never get credit for, because the writing of the petition, the putting together of the statements, getting statements from supporters, people who you would be surprised. Some people, I think, in the public would be surprised to know who wrote statements in support of the Hammonds. For example, Arnie County Sheriff David Ward wrote a statement in favor of the pardon. Several people who helped long ago. And as this process moved forward, you go from thinking this is a long shot, who knows, how many pardon out. It's like an appeal to the Supreme Court. Are they even going to hear you? And then, as it started to become more of a reality, there were many people who, I would say, not probably as significantly as Congressman Walden, but there were other elected officials from other states who were interested in Western land issues. I know there were senators from Utah, there were senators from other states, there were representatives who were basically saying, you need to look at this. We need to address what happened to the Hammonds, because it signifies bigger problems and bigger issues. And I think that's one reason why there's so much interest in this, is because when President Trump issued the pardon, his statement was, there has been overzealousness here that resulted in injustice. And I would say that is the best way to encapsulate what is happening to Western land issues and ranchers and agricultural producers. When they interact with the government, they can't get past this overzealousness of bureaucrats, of regulators, of government officials who have this full weight of the government behind them, and they just plow forward, whether it was like the U.S. attorneys who decided to appeal in the Hammonds case, or whether it's the Department of Interior officers who don't seem to listen, from at least the ranchers' perspective. So that's part of this story, which is there are a lot of people interested saying to the president, look at this. There's something wrong that's exemplified by the Hammond situation. So you can not only remedy a situation where Dwight and Stephen need to have some fair treatment here, enough is enough, but let's also signal that there are legitimate questions about this government overreach, about this overzealousness, and that transcends politics, that transcends partisanship. And so, people that might get lost in the discussion about what happened yesterday, but it's a big issue. And of course there's a next step for the Hammonds, but there's also a next step for this issue of what happens to these highly tense, very personal conflicts between government and ranching families and agricultural producers. And there's some positive momentum now that says we can really make some progress, and I think it's giving a lot of people hope.
Well, is the progress, does that come like through the protest, or does it come through listening? And does it come through working together?
Well, I think if you look at this process in particular, which led to the pardon, you can't identify any one particular thing that made the pardon happen, except for perhaps the actual signature of the president. But there's a complete body of activity, activism, hope, legal work that went into producing this today. So I think it's everything, right? It's a movement that happens both purposefully and organically. And in this instance, I think we've seen a long series of both passionate activism, patience and hope on the part of the Hammond family, and some very successful legal victories and other victories that have just kind of culminated in this pardon. So again, it's everything.
I mean, it didn't just start, with the Hammonds. Obviously, it started, 50 years ago almost, and even before then. But you had the Sagebrush Rebellion, you had the Wise Use Movement, you had all the different things that brought up this Western lands land use policy under a lot of different administrations. Do you see this as a turning point? It sounds like you do, Rick.
Well, there is some positive momentum, and by that what I mean is, if you read the news stories, they're connecting the Hammonds, obviously, to what happened in the Malheur Wildlife Refuge, the Harney County Resource Center issue, the Bundy case. Well, there is obviously convergence. I mean, when Ammon Bundy and Lavoy Finicum stood up and said the Hammonds need to be out of prison, right, they were giving voice to this particular conflict, but it was bigger than that even then. And so, yeah, there's a long history of, quite frankly, a lot of momentum the other way. Growing government, growing bureaucracy, shrinking ranching families. The number of families who are producing in agriculture on Western lands, particularly in this area, is reducing and reducing, and their political power is getting less and less. And so what you see, some people say, oh, it's unfortunate. But political activism always looks distasteful before change occurs. It's always hard, and there are always pieces of it that don't fit nicely into a polite conversation. But when you ask me, are we succeeding? I wouldn't say there's big successes, but there's momentum. And what has happened with the Hammonds, what has happened with the Bundys, what has happened with Jeanette Finicum, what has happened with some of the other families Morgan's working with, is we seem to have gotten the attention of federal lawmakers, some good-willed federal bureaucrats, some highly dedicated policymakers, private organizations, and a broad spectrum of the public who aren't in the ranching industry, people who don't know what it means to be in the business of producing agriculture. They're interested because they see ripple effects. And so I think there's momentum. I think the short answer is I think there's positive momentum. Hopefully we can take advantage of that. And one of the things we're trying to do, one of the things Morgan's trying to do, is use that to do positive things and not get distracted by people who have other agendas, So I think.
So I have just one more question for you.
Excuse me for just one moment.
Oh yeah, absolutely. One more question for you.
I have one too. It might be the same one.
Okay. So what happens? Okay, when the administration changes, because we work on 4 or 8 year cycles, or 6 year or 2 year, depending on who you're talking about. When you have.
That's my phone.
Okay, I can hear that. When you have a cycle like that, and you're working within it, and you have all this positive outcome for your cause, let's just call it a cause at this point. I mean, it's very complex, obviously. What happens then afterward? What happens when that changes over again?
So this is a very good question. Yeah, it's pretty sophisticated. I'm not sure if the average person sees that, but that is the problem. And whenever you have a problem like this, it's the executive branch that just did something that solved the problem, for example, for the Hammonds. But of course, that executive branch and that administration changes. And one of the problems with business, the economy, and agriculture is you need some consistency. You need a platform. You can't make business plans. Ranching is a 5-year, 10-year, 20-year plan. Land use is 5-year, 10-year, 20-year plan. And one of the things the activism has to do is it's got to focus beyond the executive branch. We sometimes ignore the courts, but legal decisions have long-lasting effect. So one of the things Morgan will talk about at 2:30 is the legal strategy. What can we do through the third branch of the government that makes decisions that last past one conflict? And then the second thing is, when you're working with the legislature, it's not about a law. It's not about a particular problem. It's about building awareness among federal legislators and a long-term ability or forum where you can have real conversation. And in agriculture and Western land issues, there just hasn't been a lot of momentum because the populations are on the coast. The powerful senators, so to speak, stereotypically are on the coast. How do we get the senators from the West and the congressmen and women from the Western area to have a platform? And Morgan's talked about some ideas we have and some agendas that we're pursuing to really do that, so that this is a lasting effort. Because, you know, and if you talk to the Hammonds, they'll tell you this isn't just about them. They hope that part of their legacy is something that helps improve life for lots of people. And so we'll talk more about that at 2:30. But I think that's, you got to look at past the executive branch. You got to look at the other branches of government. And activism is really easy to protest the executive, but long-term activism has to be real. Let's get real decision makers in a constant conversation, so we always have a place to go. And I think that's part of the solution.
I'm hearing Kavanaugh.
And one of one of the other issues obviously is that the people who work on the ground have jobs, and they can't afford to go into the cities. They can't afford to organize. They can't afford to get together. They don't have the money,
Right.
the wherewithal, or anything like that. So, but they're needed. Those
Right.
are the guys whose voices are needed.
Right.
So how do we pull those together?
Well, we'll talk more about that at 2:30. We've been making strides. You know, we didn't know that pardon was going to happen yesterday, but there are some things in the works that people will be surprised about. Some goodwill among elected officials, among bureaucrats. I mean, that's my word for them. But you know, government employees who have a tremendous amount of influence, private individuals and nonprofits and commercial organizations. There's been a lot of groundwork being laid for a long time over the last 24 to 36 months to really move this forward. I live in a small ranching community myself, and when we got in the car to head up here, they said, "Hey, give them my best," and they had to go back to work. They can't come up here and wave a flag or put up a sign, but they have deep interest in seeing that this kind of thing, this good news, translates into real meaningful kind of checks against that overzealousness, against abuses, and we've seen that in other areas of American life, but in terms of agriculture and the lifestyle, Congressman Walden talks about our way of life, especially in the western desert. In the past, we just haven't had to organize, or at least we haven't, and that's a task, and it's a task that's bigger than me. It's bigger than anybody involved in this case, but I think we can help use that momentum in the right way. So.
I have one more for both of you. Do you think Morgan would come back for a second? Because he's
sure.
Yeah, just
sure.
You
should not. This should just be context. He should be the one you focus on. Yeah.
Could you ask him for me?
Sure. To come back?
Yeah, if he doesn't mind, just for a one more deal.
Sure.
Because it's better to do it one-on-one than at the pond.
Okay.
The pond?
Well, the pond will
Are you kidding? Really, the pond?
No, there'll be plenty of opportunity for one-on-one.
Okay.
We had to pick some place where we weren't going to run afoul of some of the tensions with the history of this situation, where there's lots of public involved. Wanted to pick a place where there was less likelihood of conflict. So, I'll go.
Okay, great. Don't go away.
Rick had to go away for a minute, but we're trying to get him back for another question here. And who am I working with here?
Oh, hi there.
Hi.
You folks. Sorry, I had another question.
Sure.
Because you're working so closely with the family, and because we are community members and we've been tracing this since back in the day, there's been a lot of conflation, and maybe for good reason, between this and what happened a couple of years ago and as part of the movement. Do you think it serves the Hammonds to be conflated in that larger arena? Do you have a sense that maybe with their position in the community that there may be some tension or ambivalence about that, or how does that
ambivalence about what now?
Well, just about the conflation of this with the larger movement and the occupation, frankly, where there's a lot of tension in the community still about that.
Sure.
I think the Hammonds, there's been a stance of we stayed distant, and all that stuff, but now we're seeing a lot of the same faces back. How do you view the tension that they may be experiencing? We can ask them ourselves.
I get the sense that the Hammonds are grateful for everything that has led to the freeing of Dwight and Stephen. I don't get any sense of animosity from them. What the Hammonds are is a very private, hard-working family who have for a long time been good stewards of a beautiful land. And I think if you were to say, hey, what's going on in the grander scheme of things, they would say, what do you mean? We're ranchers. That's kind of their response. They want to get back out ranching, and they want people to, but in a bigger picture, they also want people to be free. They want people like them to have rights over their land and to be able to continue to be the good stewards they have been. I don't think there's anything but love from the Hammonds for everybody who's led to this pardon today.
And I ask that because there will be people and voices in the community that say,
Sure.
oh, there's another thing that's coming back in, we're being invaded from outside. If it was, you know, so I want
Sure,
to just
maybe,
your side.
right? Yeah, maybe. I think they would say that they don't have any control over that. What they have control over, they're good stewards of.
That works.
All right.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks
you
so
bet.
much.
Will you
Hey,
guys
my
come
pleasure.
online and
Thanks.
oh,
I'm
where
Maureen.
you
How
are?
you doing?
Hi, how are you?
These
Got the
good,
Page
these good
community
people
online.
let me
Wanted to say
come
hello
into their
and-
interview.
No,
Thank you.
no,
Morgan.
sorry, I don't think so.
Okay.
No, it's just, we're just
I know you
strictly
get a
behind
lot
the
of
camera.
We're just
type folks.
independent filmmakers trying to make a
Are
living
you
here.
from here,
Well, I just say
Don?
Yeah.
directed all
Okay,
the
Yeah,
all right.
but thank you for
Just some
asking.
good people from Burns who let me step into this interview
Yeah,
they were
appreciate
having
it.
with
Thanks
Morgan and
anyway.
Rick.
Thanks
Bye,
and good luck.
everybody.
That's been a part of
Thank
it.
you so much.
Recognizing that.
Okay, I'm back on. Wendy Kay here with Bruce Cuff, who ran for office here in Oregon. He's out here at the airport with us, and I just wanted him to tell us a little bit about why he's here, maybe a little bit about his run for office, and whatever he's got on his mind. Go ahead, Bruce.
Well, ran for governor, and just before the ballots came out, I jumped on board with Greg Woldridge, and Greg was a great candidate for governor, very conservative, wrote a great letter to President Trump requesting that the Hammonds be pardoned, and here we are today. So, you know, we've been working on this for a couple years, trying to get just the attention of the president and getting the attention of anyone who will listen of the travesty of just what it was to have these guys go back to prison after they already served their original term. So we are ecstatic today, and I wouldn't have missed this for the world. So that's why I'm out here today, just to show my support and say welcome home, Dwight and Steve. And I know Susie's got to be on cloud 9 today. So, but that's why I'm here, just to show support and say welcome home.
Well, thank you, and I think, you know, I just get goosebumps every time people start talking about why they're here, what we're here for. This is just an incredible day, and I thank you.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, another quick look at some things going up here. We've got some nice posters going up. The fellow with the white hat there is handing out the nice new bumper stickers. Jennifer and her husband putting up these great posters. We get a close look at them here. Also, I didn't know when I came, I thought I'd be here for a few minutes with the Hammonds when they got off the plane, and then I'd be going home, but found out that at 2:30 at a park close by, Rick Kerber and Morgan Philpott are going to be speaking with anybody that's interested. We'll answer questions and we'll explain where we go from here. They've got some plans and things in the works. So I will be here then and bring that to Redoubt also. Oh, all right. I just want a picture of that poster.
That's fine. You can do it from there.
Can I walk this way?
Sure. As long as you're on that
Outside.
side of the fence.
There we go.
Oh, so everything.
I want to get a good picture of this one. It's got a lot of information on there. They're just putting it up, so let's see. That's awesome, Jennifer. Did you guys have these printed up?
I'm told that John Ritzheimer had these made
Wow.
months ago, and it's come to fruition.
All right, great. I
Yeah.
want to get a nice picture of that. I hope that the sun's so bright out here I can't really see what's on my screen. I hope you can read that, folks. I'll hold it there for a minute. If you didn't hear Jennifer, she said that John Ritzheimer had these banners printed some months ago, and now they're able to use them. Still some interviews going on over here. People getting some shade over there at the building. It's hot and sunny out here today. We got a goat over here. Look at this goat. The goat has the new bumper sticker on him. Let me see if I can get that. I want a picture of that.
I don't want him.
Turn around there, goat.
Make sure you get the sign on.
That's what I'm trying. Turn him around. Or her. Whatever.
Yeah, her.
Her. There we go.
We'll keep her
That's
off
awesome.
the runway.
That's awesome. Yeah, yeah. I did.
Oh,
I
okay,
did.
okay.
You know what? Somebody put one on my car for me over the one that said Pardoned Hammonds. No, somebody did it for me.
So I had my phone out and I got tired of holding it.
Got flags, and kids, and people. Quite a nice crowd here now. Filling up that parking lot. We got some more livestock trailers have come in. Look at there. There's a horse. 2, 3 coming in.
Yeah, we love one, cheers.
Probably friends of a lot of you people that are watching. Probably friends of yours out here.
Go all the way through.
Try to say hi. Filling up the parking area.
I get it. I get it.
Okay, we'll be back in a bit. Okay, here we are still at the airport, and one of our favorite people, Ken Medenbach, is here. Hi, Ken.
Hi.
So, did you just come up this morning?
Yeah, I got up at about 3:30 this morning at my place and got all my stuff together and popped on up to Bend and met a group of people there, and we all took off from there to over here to Burns.
Burns Airport, that's great. So, what are you doing here?
Protesting? No. Just happy to see the Hammonds got released and hoping that with this release, the Schaefer Cox, Jerry DeLumas, all the dozen other guys that are still in jail unconstitutionally and unlawfully, and hopefully President Trump will say, hey, we gotta release these other guys too.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I think we all hope for that too. What was I going to ask you? So, oh, did you know they're having a meeting today at 2:30?
No.
They're having a meeting. I forget what they called it. It's some kind of little park, pond, something pond. And Morgan Philpott and Rick Kerber will be there answering questions and telling where we go next. What they've been working on. They said there's things in the works. They said behind the scenes there's been more representatives that have jumped on board with Western land rights issues, and so I think good things are happening.
Great.
So you're going to be able to stay for that?
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, I was planning, I didn't think I'd be here all day, but since that's going on, I'll be here too, so look forward to seeing you. So what are you doing in your neck of the woods now? What's going on down there by you?
Well, I'm getting involved with water rights down in Klamath Falls. Farmers need water to feed America, and the Indians want to keep their suckerfish alive up in Klamath Lake, and I don't see the logic one against the other. I think the logic is the suckerfish will survive. They've been around for eons before Klamath Lake was a Klamath Lake. You know, it was a it dried up to just mud in some years, and those fish lived through it.
Wow.
And but the farmers, this is what the federal government's trying to do, is get rid of rural America, and then so we have to import all our food from other countries. That puts the government in charge, and either you do what we say you're going to do what we tell you to do, or we won't feed you. That's what the federal government will do, and by that time, it could be part of the one world order or whatever. And this stuff's all coming about. It's all prophesied in the Bible, but it does talk about some people that won't abide by those rules and regulations, and they won't take the mark of the beast type thing. And America contains about 5% of the population. That's us. We're the ones that are not going to abide by this one world government. And that's my thoughts on it.
Right. That's very good. Yeah, I've talked to a couple of ranchers, local here, well, fairly local. A lot of distance between ranches out here, and they said that they've had problems too. The one couple, they didn't want to be on camera, but they said the BLM burned them out one year. One fellow said he encroached a couple inches on BLM land one time. They fined him $500 and threatened imprisonment, and I mean, it's just crazy. It's just crazy.
I found out about a friend of mine who lives in Jefferson, Oregon, named Bill Case. He's getting sued by the EPA for putting a dike up to keep the water, the Santiam River, from washing his farm away.
Wow.
And I just read about that yesterday morning, and they're wanting to charge him $100,000 a day or something like that for the time that it takes to get it changed over. They want to, you know, take out all the rocks and put in trees. Well, that's what washed away before, was all the trees. So
similar to Joe Robertson's case, the EPA steps in, and it's always one of the federal alphabet agencies, you know, that they're unconstitutional to begin with.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to see what Morgan and Rick have worked up and what we can do to help. So that'll be awesome. That'll be awesome. We'll see you later then.
Okay.
Anything else?
Just
off of your head?
Yeah, I had something in my head just a second before you said that.
Yeah, I know. That's how it goes. You know, age. I think it's age. We are the same age.
All right, well, I'll hunt you down when I remember.
All right. Thanks, Ken.
Thanks.
Bye. See if I can get this to finish. It's too bright. Well, they can see you. They just. Oh, I forgot to turn around. There we go. Now they can see you. It's me. I can't see very good because of the bright sun. Okay. I'm here with the three amigos. Is that what you guys are?
Three stooges, preferably, but you know.
And their friend, the clown. Okay, you guys, who wants to tell your story? Y'all got a story? You the speaker? I'm going to get up closer to you. And the horse won't chew my shoulder, right?
No, you're good.
Okay,
I gotcha. Well, I think the big story here is that we just won a battle that we've been hoping to win for years with the Hammonds. And if everybody knows the story, them going to prison for a terrorist charge over burning 130 acres of their own grassland that they own the rights to. And so it's been a I mean, they've been battling this really for about a decade or more, and have just served almost 4 years apiece. And so hats off to our president, Donald Trump, for making the right call and pardoning them, getting them out of prison. And here, yesterday morning, I did not expect to be here today welcoming those two guys home, Dwight and Stephen Hammond. So we've missed you guys, and it's good to see you guys coming back home and come back home with your families.
And you all three are local ranchers?
Yes.
You all have separate ranches?
Henry and I here work for the same ranch locally.
Henry? Do you have anything you want to add, Henry?
You know, I just like to say that I think it's great that we can all be out here and show up to show our support. That's kind of what the ranching way of life is about. We help each other out. We love on each other, and just praise God that we finally got the Hammonds back. And you know, just it's great that our President Trump, you know, pardoned them, and just praise God. This is a lot of prayers answered that people have been praying for a long time. So we're happy to be out here showing support, and we're just going to do what we can to love on them when they get back.
And you're doing it in grand style.
We're trying.
And we'll get the clown in here for a second.
I don't know how I can add to that. I mean, that's about as good as it gets right there, honestly.
Are you a local rancher?
I'm actually a gold and silversmith, and then I day work for outfits that they work for
Dylan,
and whatnot.
Just right out here to that corner.
But yeah, the Hammonds, they got railroaded, unfortunately, and they have finally got a small taste of justice.
Oh wow! Clear out of
obviously, it doesn't take back the lost years or the money, but they're free.
So we'll go out there.
I am grateful that we have a president that actually cares.
How far out are they?
They're at the Burns Pond.
It's good to have them back.
Thank you. Thank you. And the cowboys are riding off because they've been asked to be stationed out at the end of Airport Road because Susie's coming in. There they go to welcome Susie. Sorry I didn't get that third cowboy in to get a word in if he wanted, but there you have it. Here we go, Redoubters. You'll see the horses come riding up. Susie in the vehicle behind them. A lot of cheers. Imagine there's lots of tears out there too. Not as close to the issue as a lot of these people, but it sure is an emotional time.
Susie Hammond is arriving now. Hello. Hi, Susie. How you doing here? So good to see her. Beautiful friend.
She is a gorgeous lady. You see all their family.
She brought more people than we did. Holy cow!
She got her own authorized convoy.
Yeah, her own authorized convoy.
Family, family, family.
The Hammond family.
Love the
Hammonds. I have met. This is their day, folks. This is their day. They have their family coming home tonight.
The only ones allowed in are inside the lot here. The plane will be touching down right out here.
Hey, you gotta get everybody else.
You want them off the tarmac?
I always gotta ask.
What drop? What, guys? Everybody back on the grass.
Why is that lady with the camera out there?
Keeping the media back.
Hey, go past those cones.
I wish we could all run up there.
If you want, you can stand at the cones.
Yes.
If I get out of line, what happens?
You're in the back of the line.
Ah, crap.
I got the rope and the cattle prod in
DJ
the
over
truck
there
to throw you
giving
in.
Sergeant more trouble.
Ah, this live stream is not for children.
Watching on Facebook land. Hey, I'm Facebooking live in you.
I got you. I got you, cameraman.
I got you both.
This is my line. That's my line right here. That's my line. Nobody has any respect for stuff. They never do. Look at that. Everybody, go live, everybody. Bring those cameras up. Oh my gosh, you have
Jamie and Elaine are here. Awesome. Hi.
Okay, sorry I'm live and I'm rocking you. Don't be seasick. Okay. Elaine. Oh my God.
This is my mom.
Look at his pretty shiny hair. Okay.
Okay.
Look, it wasn't emotional enough. Oh no. 10:32. Okay. Hey Rick. Rick Loveling is on the line. Oh my gosh.
They're going to be coming from that direction.
Here's Susie just got out of the car. Pretty lady.
Here they are, guys. Here we go.
There's the jet. There's the jet.
There it is! There it is up in the sky! It's a bird! It's a plane!
My screen.
It's a pardon! It's a bird! It's a plane! It's a pardon!
We're coming in.
Here they come. There it is.
Woo! Woo! Wave those flags.
Wave your flag. Yeah.
All you can see is blue sky. Sorry. Too bright out here for you to see the screen. The flag, or the plane made a circle around the airport. No kidding.
Oh, that's the airplane. You miss it. You miss the airplane.
Oops. Sorry.
Everybody's quiet.
It's way out now.
Coming home.
Coming home. Coming home.
Oh wow,
Too long in jail. Presidential pardon. About to hit the tarmac.
There it is,
Here
coming
we go.
down, down, down.
Wheels coming down.
Wheels. Landing gears down. And don't step in front of me, Morgan.
We have touchdown.
Yeah! Good day. How you doing, man? Awesome day. Great day. Woo! Great day.
Woo! Sorry, we'll go back to where we were. Okay, this is good right here. You can come.
Stay on there at the end. Come around as you come down.
Okay, here it comes.
Here we are.
So has anybody seen Judge Grassy out here?
How about Dave Ward?
Yeah, I figured. There we coming in. Oh, great God.
Are we going up there? Are we allowed to go forward?
They said no.
They said no?
They said no.
But we're not supposed to be out there.
Somebody said you could go up to the cones, but then other guys are telling us no. There it is. There it is, folks. There's their jet. Dwight and Stephen Hammond.
Right in your way. I'll move.
Don't get in front of me. Mercy. Door is open.
Go.
The family's going up to greet him.
Here they come.
Cowboys don't cry, right?
Never claimed to be much of a cowgirl either. Besides being unable to say much at this moment, I don't think it's needed. You can see what's happening here.
Probably the first time you guys ever saw me this anxious, eh?
We can have the press right here. So anybody that wants to be, anybody that's press that wants to come up, but they have to be up.
If you're press only, inside the bounds of this box and not outside.
We're giving them space, even myself.
Yeah, that's right. We're gonna do a real inside the bounds of the box.
I want to make sure everybody's real, and most of you probably understand, to be respectful, these guys need to decompress a little bit. So we're going to have a little press conference here, and media requests will be approved over the next couple days if people want to talk to them after this. But we want to get these guys home to their families and just let them have a good time. Okay?
Thank you.
You bet.
From the whole picture community.
You bet.
I'm one of my aged nephews, and you know, I live in Tennessee.
When are you ready for that?
We did it!
I'm gonna excuse me, I'm gonna try taking a knee, just get in the way. Sorry. Not be in the way.
Hey, can we get everybody to cheer again for the camera?
Heck yeah!
A little tight, man.
Amen. Full circle. Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Yes, praise God. Praise God.
God is good. We're doing a lot of decompressing.
Okay, let's hold it. Yeah.
lot of decompressing and getting back to our families. And there's a lot of people that I'm sure, are gonna learn to appreciate more than we know right now. But first things first, we're surviving it and getting through it. There's been a lot of people support us at this point that I hope know how much we appreciate them.
God bless. Sure do.
It's been amazing.
You guys have been through a roller coaster. What does it feel like to be in Boots back in Burns?
Tennis shoes.
They can't wait to be in his boots after those prison tennis shoes.
Were you surprised?
I wish the term "been through a roller coaster" was. I worry about the accuracy of that, but we're still working through it.
A message for Representative Walden and President Trump?
I hope to fully understand the appreciation that they deserve. I was on the very issue of this with Walden close to 20 years ago. Walked out on the land that's in dispute today and tried to explain to him, for political purposes, of what we were all trying to accomplish. We thought the Steens Mountain Act did that. We don't know that it didn't, but that's the whole. We're not getting into that today. Trump has, as far as I know, been responsible for the buck stops here stamp. God bless him.
What's the first thing you want to do now that you're home?
Boy, hug my family.
I'm to convey that the community, Americans out there supporting you and loving you, love you. I have no questions, just that you're loved, and thank you.
We can't, I mean, I don't know if everybody knows, but we received thousands of letters.
Awesome. Yes.
You hear that, people?
We love you guys.
There's a time when you get to that point, a letter means a lot. I'm not very good at writing them. I hope that people get it another way, but hey, we all do what we can, and those people that were able to write letters, there was one that obviously tipped the scale, so keep active.
How did you get through your time behind bars?
You had each other.
You go in survival mode and you learn how to, I mean, God prepares you for, if he takes.
Say anything to us, Mrs. Hammond?
No, except for thank you to all of you. You're wonderful human beings.
There's no way we can thank everybody enough and know who was the last one that tipped the scales, but the last one that tipped the scales can't be fully appreciated without appreciating everybody before him. And tremendous amount of people that are here today has been working, helping, sympathizing, fighting their own battles that we try to be a part of. We're not go ahead.
There's a network that makes a family operation work that's far outside of the family in this industry.
Your situation inspired a 41-day armed standoff here in Harney County. What was your reaction to that?
I don't want to comment on it today particularly. There was a lot of people that did a lot of things for maybe things that are trying to define what a patriot is today. If somebody asked me what a patriot was, I'd ask them, what does that mean? The standoff, I believe they had good intentions. I don't know how it was received. I was out of the picture at that point. I was preparing for the segment of my life that I just walked out of the day before yesterday. So
welcome home.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome home.
Welcome home.
I'd really like to say thanks to Forrest in the most part, and to Dave, who's been packing that ball around for us for months, and maybe not so much for the guys, but out for us that are left at home. It's pretty great.
For the industry, and folks, that's what it's all about. It's not about us two guys standing up here. It's about America.
Amen.
Until we can put God back in our schools, I hope that we can work with the federal government, maybe start here in Oregon, but without that we are on off the trolley. And you people have to be the ones that do that. We're used up, burned up, give up.
Oh, no.
We got you.
Yep.
It's all right. It's our turn.
Okay.
Love you.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
No rest. Bye.
Love you. Enjoy your families.
Oh, you don't want me to film it?
Thank you. So, and is your name on it?
Sharp. I didn't know.
No worries. And what is your name?
Really behind you.
He's with Lucas.
Yes, he is. Please step back. Please, they're going to go to their car now.
Yeah, let's go.
Please, please.
Thank you, guys.
Please have
Let's go, guys.
Thank you. God bless America.
God bless you guys.
Hey, everybody. We'll be back at 2:30 at the Burns Pond. So if you'd like to come join us at 2:30, we'll be back over there at 2:30.
Thank you, Morgan. Good job, guys. So.
I'm not
Yep.
going to do that.
Not going to do that either.
I'm with you.
If everybody could move back, that would be great. Everybody can move back. That way would be great. Let them get in their cars and go home with their families. And please, everybody step back.
Hey, it's gone.
Andrew's the short one next to Mo. The short red guy. Andrew does. Andrew's got the blue shirt. Blue shirt, not mine. Right.
Well, lunch is full. I got so much work to do at home. I shouldn't have been here today because I was over yesterday, but I had to.
Sergeant Mo.
Sergeant Mo.
Yeah.
Good seeing you again.